You're watching Ticket TV. Like, share, and subscribe on your way in.
I take the heat for this one tonight. This all on me. This all I've been getting on you all the last couple shows. This one on me right here. You just gonna be quiet? You don't give my punishment?
I just, when someone's apologizing, you have to just let them.
Mm-hmm.
It's a moment for me to be quiet. They always say that women don't know when to be quiet. This is a moment. I'm going to let you have the floor to, continue saying how wrong you were and apologizing.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I was in here. I forgot to send this girl the link. I hit her up like, "Yo, you ain't coming?" She was like, "You ain't sent me the link." I'm like, "Damn, my bad, my bad. I sent the wrong person the link." I'm capping. Totally my fault.
No worries, Ticket. Tonight's going to be a good show.
Totally my fault. And we're gonna get into this because, I'm gonna tell you something. A lot of people on YouTube kick me off.
Why is that?
The one thing I pride myself on is coming in here putting out real information. I don't do the fake news stuff, right? So today, for you guys who saw it or you didn't see it, I did a video, right? And I want to talk about that video I did today. I did a video today on a report that I was reading. Now, this report that I was reading basically was talking about Michael Jackson's biopic. Have you heard about that?
Yeah.
It's supposed to come out this Friday, right?
Right.
So in the article, it was stating how the biopic was getting bad reviews all the way across the board. Right? And so, and oh, by the way, you guys go subscribe to my co-host Dominique's channel. Dominique, tell them about your channel. My bad.
It's called Talk to Me Nice, guys. Come over there and subscribe if you like sports. Come and hit me up at Sports TV as well. But both channels are live.
Already. And that's pinned at the top of the comment section, you guys. I pinned it at the top of the comments as I did last night. So we can get ourselves up. Let's get her up to 1,000 real. Let's get her up to 1,000 subscribers real quick. A lot of you guys are watching these shows, so let's go ahead and get her up to 1,000 subs so she can get it rolling. Listen, I'm gonna tell you something. When I came in here and I reported the stuff that I was reporting on Diddy, I had a problem with half of the people who was listening. That's, saying, "Yo, Ticket, why you going in on Diddy? Like, why you doing this? Like, because I'm a real nigga. I stand on business. I don't respect no nigga violating no women like that, right?" So I always put it into the perspective: if I had a daughter and that's my daughter, would I want a person treat my daughter like that? No. And if I couldn't do anything about it, would I want somebody else to step up and speak on it? Yes. So people moved the goalposts and said, "Oh, she a hoe, she a free." Don't matter. I don't give a damn what she is. I don't give a right to beat the shit out of her like that. I don't give a damn if she's the freak of the week, right? So I had a lot of people that was cheerleading me on that too. Like, so I had a lot of people that was against me, and a lot of people that was cheerleading me, right? So, and the people stopped fucking with me off that. Like, they stopped effing with me off of me going in on Diddy, right? But hey, listen, I only answer to God. That's it. You know what I mean? If you can't fuck with me because of that, hey, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I seen what it was from the first place, and if that's what it is, you know what I mean? Even though I'm never gonna throw nobody else under the bus and do nothing like that, I'm still gonna always show love and have love. I just ain't respect that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody got a right to their opinion, right? But I had a right to fact too, and the fact was he beat the shot that girl. He don't get no pass for that, and I ain't fucking with no nigga off that because he lied and said that she lied about everything that she accused him of. And then when the video came out, you understand what I'm saying? Everybody was like, "Damn!" If that video never came out, Imagine what would have still been going on now, what the point would have been, right? And I did that because I don't give a fuck about praising no goddamn celebrity. It don't matter how well you can sing, how well you can dance, whatever you can do, right? I'm not finna get on my knees for no man, period, or woman. I'm not. I only give the praise and the thanks to God. That's it. So when I see people on social media getting all in their feelings, they got in their feelings about this today. I had people coming in here telling me I'm a liar about this article today that I put out. I never seen the article. You're lying. People coming up with 1,000 excuses about Michael Jackson, right? 1,000 excuses. Now, Michael Jackson just didn't have one allegation against him. Michael Jackson had multiple allegations against him. Not one, multiple allegations against him. But you know what the excuse was today? Oh, that's not really his daughter. This and that. All these people talking about, hey man, you got to stand up for the black man. But y'all forgetting that Mike married two white women. He didn't marry the black woman. He married the two white women. He married the Lisa Presley girl. Then after he got rid of her, got divorced from her, he married the other white girl. Right? Oh, she taking all Mike's money. No. Mike put her in line. He put her in his will. Mike gave her 40%. The kids, he gave the kids 40%, the 40%, and charity 20%. He didn't give his brothers and his sisters nothing. But they want to come in here when I'm standing on business and I'm speaking what the truth is, right? And won't come try and move the goalposts on me because they like Mike. I don't give a fuck that they can dance, do 3 backflips in a row. That shit don't mean nothing to me. All I know is, and I'm gonna say the same thing I said about Shannon Sharp. And I'm gonna ask you this question. Let's start off right here. Who's paying somebody $23 million if they lying?
No one.
Go. Who's paying somebody $23 million if they lying?
Literally no one.
Because then check it out. When the case that went to trial, he didn't pay them. He didn't want to pay them, but he paid that boy. He had other settlements too. Now, once again, the LAPD came out and the LAPD said that the boy described Michael Jackson's beefcake marks that he had that you could only see if you saw this person without clothes. Do you know when somebody came in the comment section? I swear to God, I wanted to leave it up. I blocked their ass. Do you know what the person came in the comment section and told me that excuse was? Well, he came in the comment section and told me the excuse was, well, maybe he seen Mike naked in the house when he was going. What? I said, man, I blocked his ass. I blocked his ass.
Blocked.
Blocked. So the LAPD, the lady and the man who got a warrant to take those pictures of Mike's private areas, right? They said the boy's story matched. And you know what happened? They said all of his descriptions of Michael's area matched. The LAPD said that. Now, I want you to think about this. If the LAPD said that, why did Michael Jackson estate and and they didn't sue their ass immediately for libel and slander? Why? You know why they didn't sue? Because it's something called what? Discovery. You know what happens in discovery? They go back and show those files that was in that case to show those photos to prove. If people don't think about this stuff, if that was a lie, Michael Jackson's estate would have sued the LAPD immediately when they said that. They didn't. Right? And so the person said found guilty. That's a whole different case. See, that's the thing that, Dominique, these people don't even know what the hell they talking about in the comment section. We're talking about multiple. Mike didn't have one allegation. Mike had multiple different allegations. Some of them went to criminal court. Some of them didn't. The boy he paid $23 million to, Jordan Chandler, he was the kid who gave the he went to the cops. So they asked the question, Dominique, well, why these people didn't go to the cops? That boy went to the cops. He went to the police, right? So everybody said, "Oh, well, his parents were devious. They wanted money, not justice." And I have a problem with that, in my opinion. I have a very serious problem with that. But the LAPD said that boy's story matched. And the only reason why they couldn't prosecute Mike is because Mike settled and paid that boy that $23 million, and that boy dropped the case and his family disappeared with that boy. So if you have no, they even said it on the if you have no accuser, you have no case. Right? Think about this too. This is all the people that's kept quiet. I'm gonna let you cook for a minute after I say this to you. Think about this. Michael Jackson, and I'm gonna play the tape. Michael Jackson said when he was asked by Martin Bashir about the rumor that he slept with kids, he said, "Yeah, I did. What's the problem with it? I love to sleep with kids." Michael Jackson said that if he slept with your kid and you had a problem with it, it's something you wacky, something wrong with you. You got the flow, because when I come back, I'm a stir fry.
Oh my God. Guys, it's awful. I mean, when you think about the allegations against Michael Jackson over the course of the years and you have people defending him, I mean, there's just, you can't, it's the numbers, right? Think about how many complaints have come against him. Think about how many trials, and there was the big civil trial, the Jordan Chandler trial. Then there was the big trial that took place in what year was that? Like 2005 or somewhere around there. I remember, I think it was after the Scott Peterson trial, or it might have been before, but another big trial. And not too long after that, I think it was in around 2009, Michael Jackson passed away. And then the big Neverland documentary came out on HBO. And that was really controversial because they had to remove that documentary, guys. And it's just, it's hard because you want to believe victims. You want to believe that Michael Jackson would never do something like this. He's the best moonwalker. He, inspired so many artists, but so many of these artists are sick and twisted. And how can we excuse sleeping in the bed with children? How do we excuse that? How do we get away from that? I mean, even if there were, some of these men that lied, maybe the dancer guy, what was his name? Wade Robinson. Maybe he lied. Maybe he did. Maybe both those guys in the documentary made it up. But Michael Jackson was sleeping in the bed with boys. And I watched that Martin Bashir interview when, like, in real time, when it was happening back then. And it was absolutely disgusting.
They saying his daughter ain't his now. Now, Michael Jackson, he the one decided to go marry the two white girls. But you got all these fake pro-black to the power people coming in here screaming at me, "Nigga, where you going there, Mike, nigga?" When if anybody else in the black community married two white girls, they will be calling them all type of buck dancer and everything. But for Mike, these guys, they got a whole different set of rules. It's a whole different set of rules, right? Michael Jackson was the one who, and think about it. How many black kids did you see come forward with allegations? None. So all these people that was around Mike after that whole, 94, 95, all we seen was the white ones. We seen white women and all the kids. Who was the kid that was around? Macaulay Culkin?
Yep.
So all I'm saying, hold on.
Also,
go ahead.
Alfonso Ribeiro.
Yeah, but all I'm saying is this. This all I'm saying to you, right? His own daughter talked with the family herself personally. Now, remember, her daughter years ago identified as black, and she didn't believe the allegations at all. Paris Jackson did not believe any of them allegations at first. After she talked to the person who said he didn't want the court, man, get out of here. I'm sorry. If you put a PDF on my name, we going to court. I don't give a damn how long the allegation. See, something's wrong with y'all. Something is really wrong with people in this comment section. But you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna play something for them.
Choice of life. And so it was that we came back to our meeting at Neverland with 12-year-old Gavin. I'd found this easily the most disturbing moment of the past 8 months. Some have, and they say, is that really appropriate? When you're talking about children, we met Gavin, and it was a great privilege to meet Gavin because he's had a lot of suffering in his life. Yeah. When Gavin was there, he talked about the fact he shares your bedroom. Yeah. Can you understand why people would worry about that? Because they're ignorant. But is it really appropriate for a 44-year-old man to share a bedroom with a child who is not related to him at all? That's a beautiful thing. That's not a worrying thing. This is a guy trying to help heal a child. I'm sleeping in a sleeping bag on the floor. I gave him the bed. He has a brother named Star. So him and Star take the bed. And I'm on the Did you ever sleep in the bed? But I have slept in the bed with me. I sleep in the bed with all of them. When Macaulay Culkin were little, Kieran Culkin would sleep on this side, Macaulay Culkin on this side, his sister's in there. We're all just jamming the bed. And we wake up like dawn and go in the hot air balloon. And we have the footage. I have all the footage. Is that right, Michael? It's very right. It's very loving. That's what the world needs now. More love. More. The world needs a man who's 44 sleeping in a bed with children. No, you're making it. Tell me, help me. Because what's wrong with sharing love? You don't sleep with your kids or some other kid who needs love, who didn't have a good childhood? No, I don't. I would never dream of sleep.
He said you don't sleep with some other kid that need love. No. Is everybody listening to this? He says you don't sleep with another kid that needs love. Hell no. Hell no. There is something wrong with these people in this world. The devil has taken over this nation, this country. I'm telling you. You got a nation full of people going straight to hell. I'm telling y'all this. I'm telling y'all. And to the person who said this isn't true, oh my God. See, this is what I'm telling you in the comment section once again. First of all, her and Janet Jackson rejected the biopic and didn't want nothing to do with it. These are facts. And a motherfucker gonna tell me to shut up. No, you shut up. Michael Jackson paid multiple settlements, not just the one. And I know one thing, and I'm going to tell y'all this right now. If a person is lying on me about a PDF file and trying to put a case on me, nigga, we going to court. We going to court. You ain't getting a penny out of me. And I'm telling you straight like that. And let me say this again to y'all. Right? And to the person who says he didn't pay him, he did pay Jordan Chandler. That case was back in 93, Buster.
To the tune of 25 million.
23 million. 23 million. It was 23 million. He paid him 23 million. Right? I want you to think about what I just said. Hold on. And I'm going to put it on. I'm going to show you. I'm going to put it on the screen. It wasn't Trans America. It was Michael Jackson, asshole light. So stop capping, nigga. Sit in timeout. Because when you come in here and you lie, I'm going to sit your ass in timeout. Now, I'm going to put on the screen. I'm going to do them. Because, see, since they say that, oh, I'm lying or we lying about this stuff, I'm going to put on the screen for them. So you can go look this stuff up yourself. See what I'm saying? This is what happens when you praise celebrities and you fall in love with a person's music. These people act like they woke up with Michael Jackson every day they know this man. This is crazy work. So since he said I was lying, go to yahoo.com. It's all over yahoo.com.
All over.
We can start right there. Since I'm lying, we can start right there. Hold on, right? And we can keep going from article to article to article. I mean, if you think that I'm just in here making shit up, Let's keep going. There it goes right there. There's more articles, right? She knows exactly what her father did. Why Paris Jackson now believes allegations against her dad. How she got close to the family of the alleged victims and Michael's disturbing newly unearthed handwritten note. Look it up. Look up the story. Look up the story. You got a nation full of people going straight to hell praising celebrities. Praising celebrities. Look at that story up while you look it up too. The cops came out. The two officers who investigated for Jordan Chandler, they just came out. The story was up 2 weeks ago. You talking about don't believe it? This is the UK. This is the biggest publication. And guess what? I'm not believing it for them. I heard it from the cop's mouth. I got the video. I'll put it on here too for the two detectives. Got their name and everything. You can look it up. And to the people who say, oh, don't believe that, why did the Jackson family sue? If it's a lie, why they ain't sue? If all these are lies, why they ain't sue? I'm going to tell you why they didn't sue. They didn't sue because it goes to what you call, again, discovery. Which means that and they would have a hell of a lawsuit. Think about the lawsuit they would have against the LAPD if you had two LAPD cops come out and lie on the case. Think about that. Talking about he did stop. No, we ain't going to stop. We're going to keep going. They got a biopic coming out on. We got a right to talk about it. Y'all, these people, I swear to God, the addiction to celebrities is unbelievable in this world. People ain't never slept with these people, know with these people a day in their life. And they to the high heavens that they know these people. People live through celebrities, through their music and everything like that. They don't know these people as real people. This man had multiple different youngins come out with allegations. Not one. The one went to court. But that was after multiple. He already had the Jordan Chandler. And he settled. That was the first one. He settled for $23 million. But they say I'm lying about that too, right? Well, let's go ahead and eat to that right there. And you can look at it. That's all. You can look up every article on that. ABC, NBC, CBS, Fox. Look up every article on that. It give you the whole thing. And to the dude who said I sound like a hater. No, I don't sound like a hater. I sound like a dude with common sense. I sound like a dude that's blessed. I sound like a dude that listened to Michael Jackson say that he was okay sleeping with other people's kids. I'm sorry, sir. I don't know what planet you from, sir, but we don't play that game. Because any nigga, if I got a kid talking about, yeah, it's okay to sleep, it's okay. I'm telling you right now, they're going to put me in cuffs, nigga. They're going to take me to prison. And I'm standing on that shit. You niggas is disgusting. And I told you, it's a nation full of people going straight to hell. You know why? Because they put more faith in celebrities. Put more faith in celebrities than they do in God. Now, I'm going to play the rest of Mike's words and I'm going to let you respond to this. Let's go. Because this has to be spoken on. There ain't no way people gonna come out here and keep capping for Michael Jackson. It is disgusting. When this man said, and I only said, hold on, this man said this with a straight face. People ain't even mad at that. But you know the hypocrisy, Dominique, if Diddy would have said that, all these motherfuckers would say, go take that nigga to prison.
Everybody.
Every last one of them would have said, take this nigga to prison. You know why? Because it's like the brother Kwame Brown said, it's all about who you like. If you like somebody, you defend them to the end. You look at blind stuff. That crazy uncle you got, that do God know what, you defend him to the end because it's family. Right? But riddle me this. If them LAPD cops was lying, if they was lying, the LAPD, The cops, the two officers, the female and the male. If they was lying about what they found, because they said they found through evidence, they confirmed this, not innuendos talk, right? So if somebody said they had evidence, wouldn't you say, if it was a lie, okay, let's go to court and prove you got the evidence?
It's true.
I'm just saying. Like I told you, you got a nation full of people that's going to hell. These people praise the wrong stuff, man. I'm telling you, they praise the wrong stuff, man. And it's sad to see people go out like this. These people will put celebrities for their own family. They embody this stuff, right? They embody this stuff. I want y'all to think about this. And it's, to me, it just hurts me to see so many people just sit up here and off the rip, just talk shit when Michael Jackson. Then nobody forced Michael Jackson to go marry them two white girls and had them. And guess what? She is his son. Michael Jackson claimed her, and she said that she truly believes that he's her father in two. Michael Jackson never said, hey, I got a question if she's my daughter. You know what Michael Jackson did? He left her the money. Period. So all y'all talking that shit. Michael Jackson didn't leave Janet, Jermaine, T, none of them other people. He ain't leave them money. Look at his will. See, these people coming here talking all this shit. To the people who say, you believe anything that the cops say, they got it. They said they have evidence. So if they didn't have evidence, Michael Jackson family, that's an easy lick. That's an easy. Let me ask anybody in here with common sense something. And this is the part that Dominique, that I get so mad at these people with. People don't use common sense. Everybody that's listening to this video, if somebody put a PDF file on them, I will guarantee that 95% of these people will want to go to court to prove their innocence. Absolutely. They would not want to walk the streets with people saying, hey, you paid that girl or you paid that boy. They would not want it. They would say, man, you ain't getting my money. Y'all need to stop this shit, man. This is disgusting, bro. 1,000 fucking lashes for you niggas. 1,000. And I'm going to say it again. If those two cops was lying about the evidence they had, why my family ain't suing? You know why they ain't suing? Because they don't want to go to court and see discovery. You know why? Because those files stay in the files forever. Right? These are all facts I'm giving y'all. Right? So when I said this, and I'm going to let my girl Dominique have the floor, I'm just going to let her cook. I'm going to let her finish the show and cook. Because I don't even want to say nothing, because y'all make me.
What do you say, Ticket? I think you went out.
I'm ashamed of y'all. But I'm going to say this to everybody listening. Right? To everybody listening, I'm going to play this. And I'm going to let her have the floor. I ain't even going to say nothing else. I'm going to let her finish the show.
Back to America. We had the information from the victim about Michael's body, and specifically the markings on his body. So the only way that a child would see that is if Michael was nude. Then our unit prepared a search warrant to search or to view Michael's body, and this included the genitals.
We explained to him, we have a search warrant signed by the judge to take pictures of your private parts. Said that you also. The outcome was that evidence that was provided by Jordan Chandler It was confirmed.
It was confirmed. You got the floor, Dominique. 1,000 lashes. And I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna say something. Hold on. I don't put nothing before God. Nothing. These people worship celebrities. I'm telling you this. They worship celebrities, man. They worship celebrities, man. Celebrities. To the dude who said Cash App, we never said anything about a Cash App, brother. We never said anything about a Cash App. So don't even come in here. We never said anything about a Cash App. Get your funky ass out of here, nigga. We never said anything about a Cash App. I said something about saving souls, nigga. And stop praising these damn celebrities and people y'all don't even know. This man sat up here and said he said he had no, he said if he slept in a bed with your kids and you got a problem with it, something wrong, you wacky. Go ahead, Dominique.
These allegations against Michael Jackson, they've always been absolutely disturbing. The fact that we as, fans of his music could abide any kind of interview where he's admitting to being in the bed with young children. We have to protect kids. I mean, we're not going to be able to protect everything they do, everything they see, what's introduced to them in the world, the forward movement that's happening, but we can definitely protect them from harm, from being, molested. We can protect from that. And we didn't do a good job by these kids. And the fact that Michael Jackson can get, on national TV and admit to being in bed with kids and make us feel like we're the crazy one. And people actually went with that. And there's something called almost like a herd mentality. So someone as famous as Michael Jackson basically convinces people that, it's okay because it's me. He's got this soft spoken voice, and I mean, if you just take a look at the psychology of, of pedophilia specifically, if you look at the psychology of that, there's a lot of his behavior that ties back to that, and there's just so much evidence around that alone. And for people to defend these interviews, these comments that he's made, it's awful. And for people to say that they're lying, Paris Jackson, she's in a complete 360. She, like you said, she was a part of, she wanted to be part of being, a part of the Jacksons. She had high self-esteem in that. She held the Jackson family in high esteem. And, it's a double-edged sword for, people on the outside looking in, because they look at her and they judge her. There's a whole lot of judgment on Paris Jackson because she wants to denounce her father, but she's okay to spend the money now. Right. So she's got all this money. But I do think that I think that that's irrelevant. The money aspect of it is irrelevant. She can have the money, spend the money, and still admit that she thinks that her father is guilty of these allegations. And she obviously feels a lot of guilt around it. That's why she's, cozied up to these families. And, she doesn't want to lose all of her money. Who knows? Maybe these people were going to attack her net worth. But I just think that there was a lot of evidence around it, and she can't just ignore it. A person with a conscience can't ignore someone saying, Michael Jackson, did this to me as a kid in that documentary, or Michael Jackson, thought it was okay to be in bed with these boys. Nobody can get around that. That right there, that interview, the Martin Bashir interview, you can't get around that. And anybody saying that that's okay, anybody defending it, I'm sorry, but you're delusional. You're sick. You would have to be sick to try to make that sound right, especially when we're talking about actions against kids, things that can damage them, can it cause trauma, can cause somebody to go and then sleep with somebody else's kid in the bed. That's how these things happen. It's dangerous. We have to protect children, and for people to be defending him still, it's awful. You can like Michael Jackson's music. You don't have to agree with what he did in his personal life. Those two things can be true. He could have been a great artist, but a sick individual.
Totally agree. I like Michael Jackson's music. But see, this is one thing I always prided myself on: separating the artist from the person. right?
Right.
Same thing you should do. We see this across the board. No man or woman walking this earth is perfect. But what happens is when you're a celebrity, a lot of people treat you like gods. They treat you like, the almighty, right? So if somebody says something about you, they automatically don't want to believe it because they grew up having a certain image of you, right? So if you could sing, it's one person who said, hey, I can walk down the street, pop somebody in the head, and all my followers, they won't do nothing. They'll just, hey, somebody said that before he got elected again. He said that. He said I can walk right down the street, shoot somebody in the head, and all my followers ain't gonna say nothing. I'm telling y'all this, right? I know somebody who's in the White House right now who put a picture up and himself in the image as Jesus, took it down once he got criticized, then came on and said, oh, I thought it was a doctor. I thought it was a doctor for the Red Cross or something like that. Huh? And then he had people that was so far stuck up his ass, like Sean Hannity. This man went and said, I give up the Catholic Church as of today. Because the Pope and them people said, hey, man, war ain't right. These people are crazy. This is why I know you see certain people, you might not agree with them on nothing, but you see they at least have a certain set of morals and ethics. You see that with guys like Tucker Carlson. I don't agree with Tucker Carlson on nothing, but he have a limit. And I see he got morals. I don't like Candace Owens. You know what? Candace Owens has a limit. The list goes on. Megyn Kelly. Even crazy ass Alex Jones. All these people. They said, hold on, man. You said you was going to do one thing, but you're doing a whole different thing. They ain't just going along to get along. They standing on their own individual principles and morals. That's all this is all about, man. And I can't believe people are so brainwashed for worshiping other people that they can't even have understanding through their thick ass skulls. That's an easy lick. Let me tell you something. The LAPD would be accountable for LAPD cops to come out and say something reckless like that. Michael Jackson's family could get $1 billion lawsuit off that if that was false. Easy. You know what they would do in court? Go right to the files and pull up the pictures of Michael. This is exactly what would happen. And everybody's sitting here looking like damn fool. Right?
Ticket. We have to.
It hurts my spirit.
I mean, I'm with you. We have to stop dancing around obvious. I mean, Michael Jackson was one of the most gifted entertainers we've ever seen. But genius, it doesn't give you a pass on basic adult boundaries. Like seriously, at the end of the day, we're talking about a grown man repeatedly placing himself in intimate, private settings with children. That alone is a judgment failure. Like, period. You can't get around that. You don't need a courtroom.
Dominique, let me say this to you.
To tell you, like, forget the courtroom. We don't need a courtroom to tell us that adults don't share bed.
They always, and Dominique,
that aren't theirs. That's not eccentric. That's not.
You know what they, Dominique? You know what they do?
Not childlike innocence either. That's Dominique. Crossed in a way that made people very uncomfortable for a reason. We can't ignore that. We can't.
Do you know what they do? Then they come back and say, this is what they say on every other case. Well, where were the parents at? Why didn't the parents take in charge? Why didn't the parents? I'll blame the parents. This is the same shit they said with R. Kelly. Oh, I'll blame the parents. But we're telling you, but you're the same ones giving a pass to what Mike said. If you're a parent and you got kids, and you don't have a problem with Michael Jackson said, you're the same one giving them a pass.
Ticket. The people that blame the parents are just as ignorant as the parents. Of course, the parents are at fault. Of course, they're at wrong. But these kinds of people like Michael Jackson, like R. Kelly, they specifically target people that have ignorant parents, that have parents that are down in the dumps, that can't, that will take $1 and put their kid in bed with a Michael Jackson. They target families like that would let you run off with their kid for years, all because you bought them an apartment or something like that. But when it comes to Jordan Chandler and the claim that there are people out there saying that, like, oh, identifying physical characteristics, this is where to me the narrative gets reckless, because that detail, that they'll say that the detail has been argued, disputed, it was never definitively proven in criminal court, that the 1993 case ended in a settlement, no conviction, no legal ruling that locked the claim in as a fact. But here's the part that, like, people just, they don't want to say it out loud. even if you strip away every single disputed detail, all of it, right? Every headline, every rumor, you're still left with a disgusting behavior that should have never been happening in the first place. In plain sight, that is the real indictment. I'm sorry, it's case closed because hey, once you put yourself in that position when you're inviting kids into your bedroom, normalizing that level of access, you've already blurred the line so bad that anything alleged after that it's gonna hit differently.
Oh, hold on, I want you to answer this. Hold on, somebody said something in the comments. Somebody said something. I want you to answer this.
Yeah.
So everybody in the comment section, I want to do a poll with y'all. How many people in here, if your parents would let your kids that are not of age sleep with another grown man in the same bed? Press 1. If you would do it, press 1. If you wouldn't, press 2. I want to see it in the comment section. If you, as a parent, would let your kid that's not of age sleep with another grown man, press 1. If not, press 2. If not, press 2. So what do you see in the comment section, Dominique?
Everything is a 2 because
so why are all these people looking at us like we're crazy when we say, hold on. Look what this guy is saying. He's normalizing that. That's a problem in itself. That's a problem in itself. And then all these people said, what did they say, Dominique? Well, if these kids are coming out true, where was their parents at? Doing the same thing these capping ass people that's capping for Michael Jackson is doing right now. Giving excuses. This is what we're talking about. I ain't saying hate Michael Jackson, the artist, the musician. No, I'm not saying that.
About that ticket. We don't get to operate in some sort of gray area and be shocked about things. We can't operate in a gray area when it comes to topics that, are about children like this. We can't. There is no, oh, well, it could be this and it could be that. No, we have to call it what it is and we have to call it out and we have to denounce it. Nobody should be in bed with kids. Period. The end. This is where the celebrity stuff, it warps the reality because fame, it doesn't just protect you. It somehow confuses the standard. Somehow, if this was a regular person, there wouldn't be a decades-long debate about it. There would be immediate universal scrutiny about why those behaviors even existed at all. So, for me, just when I search myself and, I'm pretty much finished after this, but my most honest take is this. You don't have to declare guilt on contested claims, right? To call out unacceptable behavior. That's what people want to that's what people want to confuse in this whole thing. You don't need a conviction to recognize that certain lines just should never be crossed no matter what. They should never be approached. They should never be even, near. You should never even get near it. But the truth is just so uncomfortable here. A legendary figure can change music forever and still show deeply questionable judgment that should never, ever be excused in real time. Not then, not now, not ever. And that's the conversation that people really just need to be having from the start. And, that's all I have to say.
His daughter, and then they banging on Paris talking about, she identified as black. She said, I see myself as a black woman. That's what she said. But now they trying to say, oh, she white, man. See, I'm trying to tell you this right now, man. She ain't his daughter, man. She ain't shit, man. But as of all credible reports, he is on her birth certificate. Michael Jackson is on her birth certificate. These are facts. People go along with all this wacky shit online. Hey, man, I'm telling you, man. No. Michael Jackson is on her birth certificate.
I mean, blood or no blood. Like she's been given the money as if she's his daughter. That's who he claimed as his daughter. So it doesn't matter. She could have been adopted. She could have been some sperm donor baby. It really doesn't matter. That is who he's claiming as his daughter legally.
And check it out. So remember I told you about his will? Remember I told you that?
Yeah.
Now, all these people who talking all this pro-black shit, coming here trying to tell a black dude all this pro-black shit. Well, Michael Jackson, Not only did he only marry white women, not only did he only marry white women, he married the first white woman, divorced her, and went and married another white woman.
Do you know what Lisa Marie Presley said about him?
Oh, I already know. And then hold on, let's go to this right before you say that. So let's talk about his will, right? How was it broken up, right? So remember I told you how Michael Jackson's will was broken up?
Yeah.
Now I said that his will, 40% went to Katherine Jackson. The other 40% went to Paris, Jackson, and Blanket the kids, the 3 kids he got. And the other 20%, he didn't even think about the family stuff. I'm just give that to charity. Foxy said, did he date a black woman? Yeah, back in the early 90s. But when he was in 91, 92, what, Whitney Houston for like a little short period, and one or two other chicks, that's it. He married the white woman. But y'all want to come in here talking about somebody, it's a black thing, ticket. Nigga, that he married a white woman. Y'all mad because the woman he said is his daughter, the one he put the money in their hands. Y'all mad at us for keeping this shit 100. Make it make sense. How's you mad about that? Right? So he gave them that money. So I'm just trying to tell y'all what it is. These are all facts. So in the early 90s, yeah, he dated like in 91, 92, between 91 and 93, he dated a couple black girls. After that, he was marrying them white chicks. And there's nothing wrong with it. Marry who you want to marry. But y'all want to come in here talking that super pro-black shit. And this man was marrying white women. Y'all get that a pass. But if any other dude married white woman, y'all be out here on Umar Johnson time. Straight up. Think about what I just said. So all these people who keep talking all this crazy, then Janet didn't even want to be in the biopic. Janet was like, nah, it's full of lies. That's what's being reported right now. Janet don't want nothing to do with it. She didn't even go to the premiere. Paris says she spent time with the families. She didn't believe at first. But she said now she believes. See, I'm trying to tell y'all something. Stop praising celebrities. It's going to let you down every time. Appreciate them for their art, their gifts, what they're able to do. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm just trying to tell y'all what it is. To the person who says Paris need to pay them their money, how y'all going to tell Michael Jackson's daughter what she need to do? That's his daughter. He left her the money and her other siblings. Weren't they all white? So I'm saying, so he left them the money, right? So how you gonna tell her what they need to do when he left them the money? He ain't leave you the money, so you can't tell somebody else what to do with the money. But y'all mad because now she's coming out saying, hey man, I spent time with the family. This is the thing too. None of these people that's talking on this YouTube show, on the channel, talk to any of the family. None of them did. She actually went spent time with the families who accused her. And then she probably like seen some. We don't know what she dealt with growing up. We don't know anything. Just show me one nigga who was with Michael Jackson on a day-to-day basis. So when you say, they say Ticket, but you wasn't with Mike. You right. I wasn't with Mike. But guess what? The LAPD say they got evidence of what that boy claimed he saw on Mike. And my family ain't said a damn word. And not only that, Mike paid that boy $23 million, Jordan Chandler, and he dropped the case. $23 million. Now, these are the same people that was in here ranking on Shannon Sharp when it was reported that he paid that white girl $23 million. You remember this, Dominique? They were ranking on Shannon Sharp when they heard, oh, you paid her $23 million.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you think Shannon Sharp dishing out that money? Remember how he was talking all that tough talk? Yeah, they trying to talk to the black man, trying to tear a black man down. I'm going to sit up here. I'm going to fight this to the full of my extent. 2 weeks later, this mofo don't settle, and they say I'm pay this girl $23 million, more money he made in his whole NFL career. And mofo sitting out here saying, oh, but ticket, man, I ain't trying to hear none of that nigga gonna be paying that bill for the rest of his life. What is wrong with people? So you think Mike paid him $23 million just to go fight the other allegation in court? He didn't want to take that to court. It was going to be a hard time explaining how the LAPD got that boy's statements that matched those pictures. It's going to be a hard time explaining that to a judge and a jury. Pay that boy that $23 million. They said that boy got go. His family got ghosted. Saying it again, man. Put God first in y'all life, man. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's perfect, but put God first, man. Don't praise these celebrities, man. Straight up, man. Don't do it. Don't do it, man. Because the celebrities can't save us on Judgment Day. They can't. On Judgment Day, the celebrities can't save us. It don't matter how well Michael Jackson can sing or dance. Nigga, if God say no, the gates is closed. Y'all always talk about how evil and demonic the music industry is, but you pick and choose who you want it to be that way for. Think about what I just said. Think about what I just said. Right? So again, when you ask me, well, why do you think about that with Shannon Sharp? I'm just saying because, Michael Jackson. I'm saying because, bro, you already talking like this about sleeping in the same bed with kids. People ain't going to be comfortable with that type of shit. So you already invited that thought that you're open to doing that. And you think it's a problem if you aren't able to do it. So you already...
I would never been where I've been mentally.
What do you think people would say if I said, well, I've invited some of my daughter's friends round or my son's friends round and they're going to sleep in the bed with me tonight?
That's fine.
What do you think their parents would say?
If they're wacky, they would say you can't. But if you're close family, like your family, you know them well, but
Michael, I wouldn't like my children to sleep in anybody else's bed.
Well, I wouldn't mind if I knew the person well, and if I'm very close to Barry Gibb, Paris and Prince can stay with him anytime. My children sleep with other people all the time.
And you're happy with that?
I'm fine with it. They're honest. They're sweet people. They're not Jack the Ripper.
I suppose the problem for many people is what happened in 1993, or what didn't happen.
What didn't happen?
Just cast your mind back. What was that like when you first heard the allegations that were being made against you?
It was shocking, and I'm not allowed to talk about this by way of law. So,
but how did you feel about what was being said? I'm not asking you to talk about what was said.
I was shocked because God knows in my heart how much I adore children.
But isn't that precisely the problem? That when you actually invite children into your bed, you never know what's going to happen.
But when you say bed, you're thinking it's sexual. They make that sexual. It's not sexual. But we're going to sleep. I tucked them in. I put a little music on, and a little story time. I read a book. It's very sweet. Put the fireplace on. We give them hot milk. We have little cookies. It's very charming. Very sweet.
Sure.
It's what the whole world should do.
Now, she says the LAPD had the evidence they could charge him. No, man, you need to listen. He went and filed a complaint. Let me explain what happened with Jordan Chandler, because you guys are going to run with this too. You got to use common sense when you're thinking. He went and filed a complaint. Him and his parents went and filed a complaint. about the alleged situation with Michael Jackson. He didn't have the physical evidence to prove what Michael Jackson had did, but he had the eyewitness testimony. So what he did was, in his statement to the police, he described Michael Jackson's private area. The police then took that statement to a judge and got a warrant to do a body search on Michael Jackson. They did and took the photos, and the boy's description of Michael Jackson's beefcake matched. But what happened was, between that time that Michael had took that test, or took the photos, excuse me, they were also going through a civil back and forth. And Michael settled, paid the boy $23 million, and his parents and them disappeared. And the cop says, well, if we ain't got the boy, we ain't got no case. If the cop said if the boy would have came and testified, they felt very strong the case they had against Michael Jackson, he was out of here. But since they didn't have the physical evidence to go without that boy's testimony, all they had was his testimony and him being able to identify Michael's, because they said he identified certain marks on Michael's private area that only you could identify if you saw it, right? So all I'm saying is, if the LAPD is lying like y'all say it is, why ain't Mike's family sue their ass? They can get, that's an easy $1 billion right there. That's an easy $1 billion right there. Use your mind. I'm gonna let you finish off the show tonight, Dominique, because I'm sorry, I can't, man. Like I said, I can't do this with people who just make excuses for excuse. Because the man said himself, he got no problem with sleeping in the bed with other people's kids. That right there should already have your alarm, your systems up. But if that don't get you up, then you say that, you say, but it's not sexual. But you paid $23 million in a settlement to Jordan Chandler. And this is all the way different from his other cases. Then he had even more allegations with multiple other youngins, not just the ones that went to court. But niggas gonna sit up here and tell me, hey man, come on, take it, man, nigga, sit down and shut up, nigga, and brush your teeth. Go ahead, Dominique, you got it.
I just think that there's a psychology around people like Michael Jackson, you know, and when you step back and you take a look at like Michael Jackson through the behavioral lens, it's not just a legal one. There's a pattern. And I think it becomes really, it's just so hard to ignore the pattern that Michael Jackson has. Not proven, not convicted, but he is undeniably patterned. We have to accept that. The fixation, idea that he has, that's not just sort of like coming out of nowhere. You're talking about an adult who consistently centered his world around children, his friendships, his environment, even his identity, the whole Peter Pan framing. This wasn't something that critics invented. He leaned into it publicly. And when someone builds their entire lifestyle, the whole thing around avoiding adult relationships and immersing themselves into childlike spaces, it just raises some real psychological questions here. Now, go ahead, you add in this structure of his property, Neverland. This wasn't just a home. It was like an ecosystem, a fantasy world designed to remove normal barriers between adult and child. Whether you call it generosity, escapism, or something that's more calculated, I mean, the effect is the same. Did you guys hear him? He sounded like he was trying to romance a child. That was the absolutely most disgusting thing I've ever heard. I give them warm milk. It's sweet. It's sweet. That's absolutely disgusting. Michael Jackson was problematic, I saw in the comments. I think someone also said not only was he problematic, but why isn't Paris Jackson trying to make this family whole? They already won $16 million, the family that she's cozying up to. She doesn't need to give up any more of her money. But to me, like, this is just all where, like, the grooming stuff, I mean, there's a lot of grooming that goes into what he did. And it's very uncomfortable, but it's relevant. Grooming is it's not always this overt sort of sinister playbook that people imagine. It doesn't mean that you're lying on in some sort of white van or on a dark, hard bed, on the floor. That doesn't necessarily, it's not always what that looks like. That's not always the case. It's about emotional closeness, trust, dependency for these kids that have these awful parents that are probably downtrodden, poor. It's about everything that makes these kids feel safe and special. And when accusers, when they describe being told that they had, a unique bond, that aligns with like a known behavioral pattern in abuse cases. That doesn't automatically prove every allegation, okay? But it does make a framework, and it makes it feel a lot less far-fetched. You know what I mean? And then there's the power dynamic that Michael Jackson has over these kids. Some of them were dancers for him that he was grooming. And he's got this extreme wealth, global fame, complete control over an environment, an entire estate, this Never Land ranch, right? And it makes it just, these are not neutral factors for a kid who doesn't have any money, who just, dreamed of being in a Michael Jackson video or on this estate with him to spend time with Michael Jackson, the guy who was moonwalking. They tilt the playing field. You know what I mean? It's not equal. They make it easier to shape narratives, control access even to young children, and to avoid scrutiny around it. I'm sorry, guys, to all the Michael Jackson fans, that's not conspiracy. That's how power works in any kind of context. So when people agree that, the psychological breakdown of Michael Jackson, when they agree about it, to me, what they're really responding to is this, that even if you strip away some of the most extreme claims about him, the horrible things that we saw in the documentary, the structure of the behavior, the child-focused identity, blurred boundaries, sleeping in bed with a child, with someone else's child that doesn't belong to you. I want to stress that. In a controlled environment that you've set up that nobody can check you on, this emotional framing, it just lines up with patterns that experts have seen before. And that's why this sticks for me. That's why it sticks for so many people that, they put, 2 and 2 together, 1 + 1 = 2, not because it's been legally proven, okay? Not because of that, but because it feels coherent up here in your mind when you connect the dots. That's why. That's the uncomfortable middle ground that people have to sit in. Hey, I can't condone this behavior of sleeping in the bed with a child. We don't have a definitive legal conclusion. We don't have that. But you do have, what we have is an orbit. We have a constellation, okay, of behaviors that when viewed through any kind of moral compass, it raises a serious question. And it's never going to fully go away. I'm sorry, guys. We can't accept.
Hey, Dominique, I'm so glad we agreed on this tonight. This was going to be, if we didn't agree on this tonight, oh my God. Girl, this would have set the whole internet on fire if we didn't agree on this tonight. Because the way we had been going, if we didn't agree on this shit right here, man, because I didn't know how you was coming with it. I didn't know. I honestly did not know which way you were going. You know what I'm saying? But hey, man, I totally agree with what you're saying. But let's get Paul Harrison's super chat before we get out of here. Let's get his super chat. Go ahead.
Thank you so much. Salute to you, Paul Harrison, 7351 for the $100 super chat. My brother ticket is a real one. I'm 60 years old. Grew up listening to Michael. Live Mike, I guess he meant to say love Mike, but I'm deeply concerned regarding what that little boy said as he described Michael's junk. And when asked to strip, oh my God, oh my God. I'm with you, Paul Harrison. we all love Michael Jackson's music. And I just don't think that we have to lean into an extreme. Why do people have to cancel an entire musical catalog because someone made poor decisions in their personal life? The music is there, it's made. We can't get rid of it. We love it. We love what he did on stage, but we don't love him sleeping in bed with little boys. We don't love that.
I like some of Diddy's albums. I just don't like Diddy. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna tell the truth.
Last Night with Keisha Cole, I would listen to that today.
You're right. I don't listen. I don't put that.
We can't.
I like R. Kelly's music. I ain't, but I'm not. You know what I'm saying? Well, R. Kelly was around here. How old was Aaliyah when he was with Aaliyah? Everybody, I'm gonna let y'all answer that. We ain't gonna say nothing. I'm gonna let y'all answer that. So when all y'all be like, "Hey man, Ticket man, they doing R. Kelly dirty," man, the girl said that was her on the tape. The girl did an interview on ABC saying that was her on CBS saying that's her on the tape, nigga. And we all remember the tape. So cut it out, man. Y'all gotta stop this stuff, man. Like I said before,
let me ask you something, Ticket. You wouldn't be cuddled up with someone 30 and they're 15 wearing Mickey Mouse outfits, would you?
Come on, man. That's why I'm gonna get ready to cook. I'm getting ready to cook old boy tomorrow. I'm getting ready to cook Russell Brand. He came out today and admitted that he slept with a 16-year-old at 30 years old. So I'm gonna get him today. Tomorrow I'm gonna get him. Actually, I'm gonna get him today for saying that on my other channel. I'm gonna get on him because he said he did it in a different country. So he said that the laws were different, that it was legal. But they cooking him for saying it was all over TMZ. I'm gonna get his ass. I'm gonna get his ass on that. But I'm just like I'm just appalled at how much people praise and are willing to give celebrities passes for anything. It's crazy to me.
Yeah.
Yo, I appreciate y'all. We had a great show tonight. We gave y'all an hour and a half, and y'all already know we're gonna be back tomorrow. Don't y'all forget the link is pinned at the top of the comments, you guys. Go subscribe to it. How many subscribers you got over there right now?
About 45.
Okay, let's get to 100 tonight, y'all. All y'all gotta do is click the link and pinned at the top of the comment section. Let's get her to 100 tonight. So we'll make goals.
Thanks, guys.
Let's get her right. We'll make goals. So tonight, let's get her to 100. When we come here tomorrow night, let's see if she's at 100 subscribers over there. Okay.
All right.
So salute all y'all. What's your final words? Go ahead.
Salute to everybody in the chat. Thanks so much for watching tonight. And don't forget, subscribe to Talk to Me Nice. Talk to Me Nice TV.
Hey, great show.
Thanks, Ticket.
See you tomorrow.
Salute to you, brother.
All right, y'all.
Hey guys, Ticket really hopes you enjoyed the content. There will be a link in the description box and pinned at the top of the chat room where you can go to the Ticket TV merch shop and purchase the exclusive merchandise for men and women. Thanks for your support, and he appreciates all sales.
Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure y'all click those links below. Subscribe to the podcast show. You can donate support to the channel, Cash App, PayPal, or buy that weight loss formula. All the links are below. Peace.